And we are live. Good evening, world. Welcome to Let's Talk About It Tuesday with myself. I'm Master Key, King Zoe, and our special guest tonight, Reese J, as we discuss romanticizing the past. Before I start, I would like to talk to everybody about my other shows. This is the start of season 2 for Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I also have a show called Spotlight Saturdays. So if you have a business endeavor or some type of outreach or mission that you would like to promote on this platform, please feel free to reach out to me to get the range. Outside of that, I am a writer, a poet, spoken word artist. So without further ado, I would like to start this broadcast about romanticizing the past. Alfonso and Carice, would y'all like to introduce yourselves to the people?
Yeah, ladies first.
Well, I'm Kyrese, or you call me Risha, either way. Um, I'm one of Master Key's good friends from what, 10 years ago almost? I feel like it's been a while. Um, yeah, it's been a minute. And I'm just here to give, my ideas on the topic.
Hello, everyone. My name is King Zoe. I'm here with you yet again. I've been coming back for season 2, so I'm very appreciative and grateful just to have another moment in the spotlight to shine with these ladies and also give my thoughts on the topic.
All right, guys. So the way we start this is, yeah. So the way we're gonna start this is we're gonna identify. First of all, we need to, in order to talk about romanticizing the past, we must first identify what it is, and then with identifying what that means to us all, we can talk about what that means as it relates to accepting that the past is the past. So my idea of romanticizing the past is holding on to something that was or something you wish was still a thing, or holding on to it to the point where you're not even allowing for anything new to penetrate you, not even allowing yourself to experience something better because you believe that you might have experienced something that you thought was the best thing with the person within a connection. uh, I would like to pass it to Carice. What's your idea of romanticizing the past, man?
I feel like romanticizing the past is someone who may have like maybe left a situation and they weren't quite ready to leave it. So they kind of like backtrack and say, well, maybe if and maybe I overreacted when in reality, um, they didn't. So, in in short, an example of that is like that whole closure type of thing. I want to go back for closure and all of that. I feel like that's kind of like romanticizes you giving that person that last little tidbit to say something that you want them to say, to give them that last little yes, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to work it. I feel like that's work it out. I feel like that's romanticizing the past, because you're not really fully done.
Well, yeah, I
Mm,
like the closure
that's a
part of
great
that, but
point.
for me, I think that romanticizing the past is once you've left the situation, you're now done with it. And you could be in another situation, you could be doing other things with your life, you could be stuck. But either way, it's when you take the time and you look, well, for me, it's when you look back and you forget about the things that weren't so cute in those moments. So like you start thinking about like, oh yeah, dang, yo, it was really nice to hang out with her and feel her butt every day, but you forget that she was arguing with you every single day too after you rubbed the booty. So it's more of a it's more of a when you just take just the positive out of it and you forget any lesson that you got out of that bitch.
Can I ask you a question about your statement, Zoe?
Uh-huh.
Do you feel like that's more of a man thing than a woman thing? I'm not saying that women are exempt from having those same feelings. But do you think that that's more like a man thing where they feel like, dang, I probably messed up. I was looking for the greener grass and now I got Miss Parker grass.
Well, I think everybody do it to some extent. So for shit, it could be like honestly, it could be opportunities. You could do the same thing with you at one job, you like, oh man, this shit fucking sucks. You leave that job, you go do something else, and you like, oh, that shit wasn't that fucking bad over there. Like I didn't mind fucking scrubbing pots. Now that I'm wiping shit off of toilets, like your perspective changes with change. So I mean, for the situation where you be like, oh dang, I left her for this. Yeah, but in the same sentiment, she might have left this nigga and he just because he ain't had no money at the time, but he came up, that nigga broke, and now she having the same thought. So I mean, that's more situational. I'm just thinking when you just look back and you don't take any lesson from the past, but the good, like, oh, it was just a nice time, and you forget that it's a reason why you are in the situation where you at.
That tickled you, huh, Key?
Hmm. Well,
Nah.
I guess yes, and it's a great segue into this concept that I have in my mind called the "can't leave me alone" or the "can't leave them alone" syndrome. It's this thing where you feel me, you become clipped or digmatized, you know what I'm saying, and for whatever reason you attach to that portion of your relationship where it shouldn't even really be a relationship at all, but you're so in love with that feeling that you got from the past. It's something that you keep trying to bring back. It's like a resurrection thing through the sex.
And
But
I think
yeah,
that's
let's
I
talk
think that's
about
where the
that.
closure comes in.
The can't leave me alone syndrome.
So I got a question for you. You brought up closure. Um,
Hmm.
We can talk
how do
about it.
how does closure play? Because I think that has to do with what you were saying. You can't leave me alone. If you can't leave me alone, usually that comes from not having closure.
Um, for me, I feel like closure is bullshit. You could curse. I feel like
Yeah,
closure.
ain't
I
no
feel like
kids, ain't
closure
no
Yes.
is
kids in
bullshit.
here.
I feel like it's really bullshit because that's just one more excuse for them to treat you like to give you that one last string attempt to string you along. Like, oh, I want to talk to you and let's talk about what we went wrong and let's see where it was a mistake. I could reflect on my own and figure that out. I can reflect on those, where it was a red flag or something that, what, I just decided to say forget it on. I don't need to sit here and talk to you and figure out what we went wrong at. For what? That's that one last chance for you to say, you know what, baby, I'm sorry. I didn't do you right. And I'm going to try now to do right now. And now, look, I'm all fucked up about you again. Closure is bullshit. That's how you get the I can't leave you alone by saying I want some closure. Like the meme say, no, we can't talk in person because you gonna try to fuck me afterwards. That's why. Closure's bullshit.
I don't, I don't know if that's closure though. I, I, I think that's emotional band-aiding.
I can figure out
That's
what
an
the problem was
emotional.
myself.
True.
You create your own
Um,
Well,
closure,
shit. At
I
least he
think.
I
trying to
agree with
talk
you.
to you. Reese, niggas be trying to come over and just be trying to yam some shit.
You know.
He's trying to put his foot in
Nope.
it.
And that's why we gonna need to talk. Cause coming, we start from talking.
He talk
When
afterwards. So what you was
when we
saying?
come from when we come from talking,
I'm
talking
good
is
now.
open the door, They'll open the door is now we on the couch. Nah, that's it's too many levels into that. I pass.
Well, I believe I believe closure comes with forgiveness. So like forgiving them don't involve them being there. I can forgive you and don't have to talk to you again. So I I think that I have closure with you once I in my mind you've apologized to me, but I don't need your lips to do it. I'm just gonna say, you know what? They said they sorry to me anyways, and I kept it moving. Whether they say it now or
I can't
not,
even
I
fake
just
this.
bye. I'm
I'm
done.
sorry. I can't even say that, oh, they told me sorry, even if they never did. I can't. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna hold a grudge. And I think that's why
Go.
I'm the opposite idea in this romanticizing the past.
So you're not romanticizing the damn
Mm.
thing.
No, not at all. I can't. Once I don't like you anymore, nothing. What we talking for? I mean, I could talk to you once we like don't like each other anymore, or once I don't like you anymore, and it's gonna be like you my dog,
Hmm.
like we never talked before. Sorry.
There you go. That's an observation. Well, I guess that takes us to the next point is where was the exit? So I'm a big fan of red flags, and I think you can always see them coming and going. So as far as romanticizing the past, this is actually one of the topics that I came up with just because of how I felt about the topic. And when you get to sit there and thinking back, me personally, I like to sit back and, as you say, reflect, because I don't need someone else to do it. Just because I think that if I can take the time to learn the lessons of what happened and be able to make a proper decision, I'm only going back to the past, and I may have a conversation with you about that. And I know that's not your closure, but just so that I can see, well, maybe it was something that I could do, so I don't fuck up in the next thing I do. This ain't got nothing to do with you no more. So as far as where's the exit, I think for future relationships, digging in your past could always help you, but not as a good thing for romanticizing what happened, because you may get to start thinking like, oh, that I can go back and get them to do better, and that may not be what you were supposed to do in the first place. Y'all thoughts on that?
Um, Key, you got anything?
Agreed.
Um,
I agree completely.
I agree
With
that you may
those
not be the
sentiments.
person to come backwards. I feel like um you might have been that
I ain't
person
gonna, though,
to
I
be
ain't
the
gonna
lesson to
cap.
them.
Oh,
Go ahead. No, Key, go.
Go ahead, Keith.
that spin the block syndrome be serious though. Be like, hold up, one more time. That spin the block syndrome.
Because you be so comfortable. It's the comfortability. That bed feel like a pillow. I mean, everybody but Reese and Jay.
So how
I
you
mean,
how you exit?
I've fallen. Man, I think any exit is you gradually exit anything. It's a 12-step process, man. You gotta recognize it first. We talked about that part, and then after that, it's a lot of prayer. It's just prayer. 'Cause I heard somebody like somebody said this shit one time. They was like, however long you been together, cut it in half. That's how long y'all been breaking up.
I like that.
So I mean, at some point you've been letting go. You just haven't realized you was letting go.
I feel like how you exit is
Mm,
to I'm gonna cut communication. I'm
mm.
not gonna lie. I'm gonna cut you. That's it. You,
You're not gonna tell
your
them why.
friend. No. I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna be mature enough to tell you why. Well, I don't know because if I decided to finally cut it, it's because I've already voiced my opinion more than once. And I've been in relationships I was with my I could call him my baby daddy because we ain't finna do the son's father bullshit. I've been with my baby daddy for 4.5 years. And then I was engaged after being like 2.5, 3 years or whatnot. And each go around, even just talking to dudes or whatever, each go around, I've gave and voiced my concerns. And in the previous two relationships, the serious relationships, I kind of once I voiced the concerns, they did nothing about it. I just, wasn't mad about it no more, and that was just that. One of the guys I was talking to after that, once I voiced my, I learned that red flag, and once I voiced my concern, and they didn't do anything about it, it was time to cut you because I've said it to you more than once, and you didn't take heed to anything I said.
What
Reason in the reasonable, if it's a
was it?
reasonable issue.
Was it a was it a straw that broke the camel's back? It was like a one last fuck you, and he's like, that was it.
Oh, which one? You got a couple of them.
Oh,
Pick and
oh,
choose. You want to go
we
to
got time.
engagement? You
We
want to
got a hot.
go? We got
We got a
time.
hot 5 minutes.
Either either or.
Well, I guess when you find an exit, like what's that last straw that you just be like, you know what, got fucked. Shit, I'm done. I'm just. How, when do you when does the person officially become the past? I think I broke them.
Mm.
They become the past when somebody else steps up and pass they ass.
They should become the past way prior to that, Key. Um, I don't know. I don't know when they become the past. I feel like for me, whenever I've done my breaking up, it's always been on like the smallest thing, like the stuff that I should have left for in the beginning, or like the bigger things that I should have left for. Um, I don't. And then it
Like
just
a
be like
bitch, you been
this.
pissing on the toilet seat, huh?
Right, that part.
Little
So
nasty
then
bitch.
once it be that last little thing, you be like, you know what, you can get the fuck back. I don't really have time for this, and I can't deal with this anymore. I can say probably like a more recent, which Key knows the person who I was engaged to. It was definitely a bunch of red flags, and I want to say,
So I have a question on that one. So here's my
Mm.
question for when you see red flags. If you saw the red flags and you knew them at a certain point in time, was it their fault for not meeting the standard, or your fault for not seeing that that was what they were?
after deep reflection and figuring out what did I go wrong,
Ah,
um, I've come
uh,
to realize it was my fault
hmm.
because I'm the fixer in every situation I'm in, relationships, friendships. I'm the fixer. I don't like to see anybody doing bad,
Oh, you about to
doing
hear that?
wrong. I don't want to feel and see anybody sad, hurt, going through the trenches. I'm always gonna be there to help fix. And so those red flags, um, those red flags, um, there were some red flags. They were like
That
them
was
motherfuckers was
girthy, if
huge.
nothing else. That was girthy.
Yeah, those are some, yeah. And I put it on as like a task for me to help and fix, because even if that person had been my friend, I still would have tried to help
Would have
them.
done the same thing.
Right. And it just
Okay.
came from it went from me being the helper or the fixer to me being the parent. And I got a child already. I don't need to parent another person who should have been parented
Or
already.
or the facilitator. No, no, my basketball reference. Well, speaking of facilitator, let's pass it over to you so you can explain that shirt you got on.
Okay. So I am part owner of, you can't really see it, but my shirt says Unpeased Cheesecakes. Um, me and my mom, we bake
You gotta
cheesecakes, both
stand
sides.
up and stand up and show 'em.
I don't think it's gonna. I'm still too close. Wait, let me see. I
Yeah.
think I'm too close. Boom. Wait, y'all can see it.
Stand up, stand up,
I'm
stand
I'm
up.
short. I am standing up.
She is saying it. Her arms
Hey.
ain't that long, Key. You asking too much of her.
Right. I was standing up. That's the problem. Um. Yeah, I'm Aunt Pea's cheesecake. Me and my mom. This is like maybe a 60-year-old recipe of cheesecakes that we've been
So
making.
bad.
Um, and it's just pretty much homemade cheesecakes and cheesecake treats. We do cheesecake jars, full
Wait.
size,
You
small
said
cupcakes.
cheesecake jar?
Yeah. So I do like pop up shops
What
here and
flavor?
there. Strawberry, Oreo, white Oreo,
Now,
butter
tell
pecan.
them.
Yeah, you see,
Um,
I'm over here well, I'm percolating.
yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite dessert.
Yeah, we do
You had
strawberry,
my
we
attention
do
at
Oreo,
cheesecake.
regular Oreo, we do butter pecan, sweet potato pie, peach cobbler. Sometimes red velvet, depends on the day. Bailey's. I just recently did a Hennessy cake for somebody's birthday. Yeah, got a lot of different
Word.
flavors.
Where you based out of?
Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. Word. All right. I
Oh,
will
yep.
definitely be down that way in a little bit. I will be ordering something.
Well, you let me know. Get the info from Key.
Okay.
No, you gonna give
Well,
them the info right now. Tell the people how they can reach you.
All right, boom. Okay. Aunt Peach Cheesecakes on Instagram. AuntPeaceCakes. And you can DM me and Aunt Peas on Facebook, same spelling.
we'll make sure to add the page to this once everything
And
is
those
done.
cheesecakes are
Pew pew.
amazing.
Hmm.
Thank you.
I'll let y'all know when I get back in March with them.
You're gonna be telling the world about it, trust me.
I'm gonna be eating it on camera.
Oh, I like that. Go ahead and do a live review. I appreciate that. Do that.
Do I
And let
sure
me be on the
will.
live
All
when you
right.
do it.
I'm gonna be cutting the fuck up with a piece of cheesecake. I'll be coming it out my face. Well, I guess from all the other points that gets us to this last point, or I
All
guess
right,
we're looking for
guys.
a resolution with if we've gone if we're going through all of this stuff, where's the growth? So is there a good reason to go back to the
Mm.
past? Even for
Never go
lessons,
back.
even for reflections, even for a moment with yourself, even if it's just to say I'm sorry to who that person was, who you let down because you kind of overlooked them and chose whoever that person was. Just to go and talk to that guy and say, you know what, you didn't fuck up that bad, but you're somewhere. No,
Never go
Rich
back.
J ain't going back there for shit. Fuck that shit.
The only I
Never
go back to
go
my past is to excuse. I I I I go back to my past to excuse myself where I went wrong, to apologize,
Mm,
to be accountable,
you
and to
forgive
be
you.
sure that I'm on my way to something better in my future.
Okay.
but this is to
But I
yourself, not
acknowledge
to the other
that
person.
person so that they can get their feeling. If I cause them anything, it's to me and them. If I cause them any, like, you feel me, you never know how you impact other people. So just to make that you feel
Mm,
me, this clear, hey, I'm aware of my behaviors, I'm aware of this and that. I wish you peace. I acknowledge this. I realize this could have been better. Peace. Thank you. It's simple.
I think even for myself, I go back to say sorry, but I don't go back for a sorry, if that makes sense. Like where I may have fucked up at, I say, oh my bad. Oh, I did that, my bad. I fucked up. Let me learn from that. But like, I don't need you to say sorry for what you did, because if I sit here and wait for your sorry, then I'll be handcuffed to you for the rest of my life. But I don't. At the same time, I don't want anybody to be handcuffed to
Dang.
me. So I'm gonna tell you sorry, even if you can't tell me. So that's why I say I forgave you.
So you feel like if you don't, well, if you don't forgive, you're still handcuffed to that person. Because for me, I feel like I don't forgive. I did not forgive, and I will not forgive. And honestly, the apology for me is a day late and a dollar short. Because if you were really and truly, honestly sorry about the situation from the jump, you would have fixed it then. So now, what is the sorry going to do for me now after everything is done? Um, Maybe I guess I would say I will forgive myself
Well,
for allowing me to be in a
what?
situation that I knew I probably shouldn't have stayed in.
Well, everybody needs to be forgiven. You forgive yourself. You gotta forgive them. They need to. They should forgive you. If they don't forgive you, it shouldn't matter because you already forgave yourself. But the reason why that's important is because if you can't acknowledge that they can change, then what you're really saying is that you can't change either. Because if you perfect, then you never fuck up. That's
Well,
why
no,
you
I'm not
always
saying
offer
that I
that.
can't acknowledge that they can change. They can change, and they could be a better man or whatever it is, or whatever you prefer. Um, but
Hmm.
that don't got nothing to do to me with me. You fucked that up already with me. So whether you changed and became an amazing person,
Well,
and I, I guess maybe once I'm done, I kind of just don't care. Life could shit on you. Life could be sunshines and
well,
rainbows, and I probably still wouldn't care. 'Cause I'm a little rough around the edges when it comes to like feelings.
see, I never want to be in a room where I feel. I want to always be able to feel indifferent. I don't want you to come in the room and just because we dated, now I gotta feel like. I just want to be like, oh, so and so came in the room. Oh, that's nice. Look at her boyfriend. Yeah, he got a slew foot. Like you can just sit there and just do that shit now, cause it ain't a big deal to you no more. Cause I don't
Well,
harbor
by
anything.
that by that logic, then I guess I can say that I forgive because um I'm indifferent either way. I kind of don't care. Like, for
I want a
example, the
slew
person who
foot.
I was engaged to, I went to him and his
Hmm.
best friend's party, had a whole good time, said, "Yo, what's up?" He was talking to whoever he was talking to, and I paid no attention, and it was what it was.
Well,
Enjoyed myself. So I don't know if that's
that's all
forgiving
I.
or if that's just indifference. I don't know if I can. I don't forgive what he's done or have done
Well,
to me.
I. How about this? How about this? What I think a better way of saying that is like you're happy he got better, but what it cost him to get better ain't worth you no more.
Right,
So in
right.
that respects, I can respect that because nah, yo, like you fucked up. You can't like my price went up. Even though you got a little bit more money, don't mean you can pay for me now because my prices went up. Like you going to have to come with some.
I like where
But
you
so I
heading on
get
that.
that part, yeah.
So,
How you feel about that kid and that slew foot nigga?
so it's like you can accept you. It's like acceptance. It's accept without forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. You see,
That's what you
see
were
that?
saying, Caris.
I didn't hear. I think
That's
I had
what
a
you were saying,
lag in the
Caris.
camera.
Acceptance without forgiveness.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you now. It's just like a little lagged.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just lacking just a little bit.
But but yeah, that's all I was saying.
We didn't hear none of what you were saying. We just heard it. That's all we were saying after whatever you said.
All right, can't hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right. So yeah, I was just saying it's a I was saying that's another concept to explore like acceptance versus forgiveness. Like basically what I heard from Kyrie's is that she's accepted what it was, but like the forgiveness part, she ain't 100% sure that it's a forgiven. It's like I accept that, I respect that that's what it is, but it ain't really like I'm over or not even over it. I don't know. It's just it's like a gray area. I think I understand.
Yeah, no,
That's what I'm
you're
asking the question.
100%. Yes, it's. I accepted our situation. It was what it was. I don't forgive you for being the person that you were to me because you shouldn't have been that person. But then I also understand where I played a role in allowing you to be that person.
Okay, that's fair.
But I wouldn't dare go back and say, you know what?
Oh,
I
oh,
was
let me get
the
that.
enabler in this situation. And you know what? I'm sorry for allowing you to bullshit me around. No, I wouldn't do that. I tell that to myself.
In that with a motherfucker.
That's that's good. Now that's good right
Black
there.
History Month.
That's good. That's good right there.
Yeah, you gonna put your foot on the back of my neck no
Yes.
more, nigga.
Right. That part. And you could go do that with somebody else. With riddance
No,
and let
I
whoever
don't.
else wants you take
Oh,
on that battle because it's not going to change by the time you get to the next person. So
Well,
let them take that battle.
I don't think that forgetting something is a part of forgiving somebody. Like if you gotta if you got
alright.
sticky fingers, don't be surprised if I want to meet you outside my house. It's just that don't mean I will never meet up with you. I ain't it ain't gonna be where none of my valuable shit gonna be at. But that has nothing to do with me forgiving you. That just means that I now know that I can trust you with none of
Right.
my fucking personals.
Right.
So as far as people,
Mm,
once like let's say once you're in my
mm.
past, I don't think that means that I would never talk with you. I don't think I would never say nothing to you, but that just takes you got to take steps out of my personal space now. Like I can't trust you with that part of me. I can't trust you with us being in this setting. I can't trust you with that. So like now I can
Absolutely.
just trust you to be at a party. I can trust you to be at a party where you hanging out with your chick, like you said with, and then like that type of stuff will work. But I can't trust you to come over the crib like 12 in the morning and just nah, can't trust you.
No.
Mm-mm.
And like I said, I once I don't like you anymore, I don't like you anymore. Once you let me
Yeah.
fall out of love or like or whatever it is with you, that's over for me.
That's it.
So
Rap is
it's
OV.
over with and it's done with.
Well,
So
Whoa, Drake.
I I still
can I ask you
communicate.
this?
Benito.
I got a question for you. I got one.
Go ahead.
So is it that when you stop doing all that I love you shit, and you got this way that you see them. Is it that if they tried to come back, what you're saying is like I don't like you need to fix this shit first before I even take you serious, or is
I
it
don't
like
take you
nah, none of that
serious.
shit?
I don't double
Period.
back.
Like
I don't
you
once I don't
bogo.
like you anymore, it's no more none of that. You better get me while I still might like you. That's the only way I can say. But if you let me not like you anymore
Mm.
and you like, you know what, I realized I had an
You just
epiphany
not
that you were
like
the one for me. I'm gonna say, mm, okay, all right.
whoever the two of y'all niggas is who missed out on that cheesecake, boy, that's y'all business.
They done fucked up the church's money.
Fucked up the church's money. They down there getting out. It's some nigga down there getting all the
Fuck the
cheesecake. You got red
cheesecake.
velvet cheesecake, butter pecan
Peach
cheesecake. She do it
cobbler
in the jar.
cheesecake.
She'll give it to you on a spoon. Nigga, she putting on their chest and licking it off on Valentine's Day. It ain't you no more, nigga.
You made me
It
smart.
ain't you.
Yes.
They done fucked up the church's money. Listen, and honestly, every dude that I've talked to, they've all come back.
Mm-mm.
The ones that I just even
Hey,
talked to, not even relationship wise, well, just talking, and then they have made some relationship. They always have come back, and I've always been like,
Mm.
I pass,
No.
because you fucked
Mm.
up already. And I think that comes off of learning from the past relationships, and
all
probably
right.
should
This
share.
show is a no cap zone. Now you make sure you tell her the truth. Now, Kari. Make sure you ain't
Okay,
double back, cause they gonna
listen,
watch this. They go
they
see.
can listen. They can listen. I will share it and
That's
tag them.
fine. That's
We can
look,
share and
look.
tag if you would like to. You got them as a friend. You can share and tag. So I've learned from
I
my last relationships
I
that even
believe you.
my baby daddy, I should say, that I took him back too many times, and I think that's why I've become so like rough around the edges about that because I took him back when I shouldn't, and then when I did,
So you
fucked
learned your
around and had a
lesson.
baby, and now I'm stuck.
It's the baby. It's the baby. That's what the fuck be happening. Them niggas, it's like the nigga get super nut. That's when they come back. I ain't never seen a fella
I bind you. It was a
that come
whole
back
4 years.
nothing fucking.
I went strong with nothing, and then I take you back.
Cause it's supercharged. You been drinking coconut water.
Something. He was doing something. He was taking them Geritol vitamins or something. He was doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So it came
You
along with
boosted his
that.
electrolytes.
Had a baby. Then I was stuck when I should have been gone. Got into the next relationship while I was engaged. Um, red flag. Took it back. Shouldn't have. Got engaged, and I think that was one of the worst things that happened because of the fact that when you break up with somebody and you take them back and it ends the same way or it ends, you and your mind feel like I could have just dealt with the hurt the first go around.
Left that shit where it was.
Right. And now I done came back to this shit and I could have been done months ago. Now I done came back and I we in the same predicament. And that's where I feel like I'm more so afraid to ever talk back to anybody because if I come back and you be with the same stuff, like baby daddy, I would have never went back to him because I probably would have like seriously harmed him. And
Well,
that was the reason
hindsight is
why.
2020.
Right. So I mean, I just feel like once you get out of a relationship and you get back with that person and they still with the same bullshit, that they don't come back with a clean heart and understand where they messed up, and you can see visibly that they know what what their fuck ups was, and you can see the changes. Then don't go back. But I would just tell you don't go back as a general. Don't even make it. Oh well, he did do this. This wasn't that bad because he used to do all of that. No, it was that bad because it was bad enough for you to leave.
It was that bad. Well, I guess
Because
as
some
a
people do that.
conclusion for me,
Mm.
well, for a conclusion for me, I think I think about it the same way you do. I'm not gonna say that it's a never, don't ever. I've not when once things were over and we kind of concluded. I have gone back and dibbled and dabbled, but I think it's what you said. Like, yo, is your heart changed? Like, are you? I look for, and I say this with you all the time. I check people fruit all the time. Like, do you have the same habits you used to have? That's the first thing I ask myself about anybody I deal with who has been some time, some space. I want to know if you changed. Like, you watching the same shows, doing the same thing, then you probably ain't changed. If you change your environment, then 9 times out of 10, you don't have to change just because your environment changed. So I mean, I trust you based off of what you do and how you respond to situations. But after that, nah, you still for me, it's like you would have to eliminate whatever was there that was the stoppage in the first place for me to even take you serious as a person like me. But because of that, that never usually happens with people. I've never had to go back in that situation. No. Gee, yeah, you stuck.
Yeah,
I
look like
am my last thoughts rather. My last thoughts. I mean, I've had my share of going back. I've had my share of no, you can't come back anymore. And what I found the common denominator to be, in all of it was my level of self-respect, self-love. Ultimately, outside of that person, outside of that relationship, it all came down to all jokes aside, like how I value myself. And 9 times out of the 10, when someone shows you exactly how they feel about you, when you fail to accept it, it's you failing to accept what you believe you were through their treatment or how they treat you. And so I learned to stop romanticizing the past when I learned to romance myself better. I learned to cater to me. I learned to cater to my needs, and I ended up like attracting just the smallest of things that I actually want and desire instead of trying to settle for something and make it fit the mold of what I would like it to be. It goes with the acceptance and the acceptance thing. Accepting that sometimes the past actually had to happen. Like you want to bring out past feelings, like bro, it don't fit. It don't fit. It's like when you were a kid. You remember we had those little roller skate before you got in roller blades. We had the little to hit the sidewalk with, and you could pull them up. But after a certain amount of pulling it to a certain size, you couldn't wear them skates no more. And after a certain amount of riding on that, that pavement, even though those were the flashiest and the first skates you ever had, does not mean you won't skate again. Does not mean your skating experience can't be amplified. But if you holding on to the since you'll never be able to see where you be able to go, and you have to understand that you can afford better skates. That what I'm saying. Whatever life happened, whatever life put into you, like it'll afford you everything you need. You gotta be willing enough to throw them other shits away and accept it for what it was. And it's okay to fall in love with the idea of what was, not really be in love like with hoping that it becomes again. I hope that made sense. Yeah.
Oh, as they say. Well, ladies,
All
I
right.
think we've discussed what
Well,
we've
we'll be back
discussed.
next week for another topic. Thank y'all for joining us on this. Thank y'all for joining us. Y'all have a good night. Peace. Damn. What's up with it?
I'm sitting here.
That
Don't
was
do
good.
that.
Hold on.